guys, and welcome to another episode of Breaking Trails. Today we're in very wintry weather, so we're going to be doing a Breaking Trails in the snow. You know, I don't always go out in dry conditions or wet. I come out in a bit of everything just to try and bring you a bit more content. But yeah, today we're going to be breaking Gellionen mountain, which is a mountain I've been up a few times with the dog. Some wonderful views up there. There's a lovely little white chapel on the top of the mountain, which has got beautiful views of Swansea in the background. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get a good clear shot of the chapel and Swansea in the background. And of course all the snow as well. It's going to make for some brilliant scenery. In terms of lenses, I've got both my 200mm and my 55mm. I don't really plan on using the Tamron, but if I see any opportunities to use it, then I will. In regards to snow is a pretty tricky thing to photograph. If you kind of think of snow as extra lighting on your shot, it just kind of reflects all the sun back into the lens, so it's quite a tricky thing to shoot, believe it or not, snow. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoy the vlog. Welcome to another Breaking Trails. But without any further ado, let's get trailing. Hey guys, so I had to stop by here. I don't know if you can see. There's some beautiful icicles behind me. I know they're quite melted. Not really much of them left, but still enough to catch a cracking image. Start of the vlog, I said I might not need the 200mm macro, but I did. I got the tripod out, I got the macro out, and I got some cracking shots close up of icicles. In terms of setup wise, I've maintained the 100 ISO. I had to drop the aperture down to f5 just to let a little bit more light in, because where the cliff was, it was quite dark and quite shaded, and the cliff was quite dark itself, so I didn't really want to bump the ISO up too much. So I wanted to keep it at 100, so I did. I dropped the aperture down to f8, and I had 1/20th of a second on the shutter. Quite a long shutter considering it's daytime, and it's quite bright, but yeah, I needed to do it because it's quite dark and shaded in the area. Anyway, we're not quite on the trail up yet, but we're getting there. So I've forgotten how much of a tough walk Gellionen mountain is. Sun behind me, man. It is a pretty tough walk. It may not look that steep, but it's pretty steep. So I've just stopped for a 5-minute breather, and I've noticed these trees behind me. As you can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but they're not perfectly lined up. But if you move to a position by here, they're perfectly lined up. Now I know I said I don't like working with lines, but sometimes when you've got lines working for you, then it's a fabulous opportunity. So I've just taken a quick shot of these trees, and I'm really happy with the way they turned out. I bumped the shutter up to 1/100th of a second because, as you can see, it's pretty light, so I needed to tone it down a bit. I kept the f8 aperture, and the ISO is still 100, which I'm really happy about. I'm really happy I haven't had to bump up the ISO at all yet. In regards to light, I've ordered myself a polarizer, so that should be coming in within the next day or two. And the next breaking trails, I plan to head up to Ammanford Mountain, where they've got a beautiful reservoir up there, and I want to use the polarizer to kind of give that kind of milky, silky, smooth effect on the water. But in order for me to be able to do that, I need to leave the shutter open for, I know, at least about 20 seconds, and without an ND filter or a polarizer, it's really tricky. So within the next couple of days now, my polarizer should be here, which I'm really looking forward to getting out and about with, and test shot on a few waterfalls and lakes. So yeah, we'll keep on going. We're getting there. Absolutely typical. Walking on a path, seeing a beautiful little robin on perched on a tree. Went to get my Tamron, put the lens on, went into focus, and he flew away. Absolutely typical. Absolutely typical. But hey, I still got my Tamron lens on. I don't really tend to use the full 200 millimeters. I don't find the focal length is that great on the Tamron. It's okay, I mean, it does the job, but I think you get up to about 150 mil until you really start to see the focal length kind of narrowing in. So in terms of focal length, it's not the best, but it does the job. Yeah, what a missed opportunity. That would have been a cracking shot. I'm just hoping now there's going to be another one I can spot. But yeah, look at that for a view. Look at that for a view. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Yeah, I might get a quick shot of that mountain over there now. And yeah, we'll carry on. Okay, so we made it to the top of the mountain. We're here. It's pretty cold. It's not too cold though. Just when I got here, I just noticed a lovely field full of snow. Absolutely beautiful, untouched. Nobody's been on it. It's just a pure blanket of snow. The sun is right behind me there. Look. Better. Anyway, yeah. So with the snow being untouched and it's just a full blanket of snow, it's really hard, as much as I want to, get a long exposure of the sky, because the clouds are a beautiful colour and they work really well with the snow on the ground, and as a long exposure shot, that would have been absolutely beautiful. You would have had the wispiness of the clouds and the white of the snow. It would have worked fantastic, but I haven't got my polarizer yet, so that's basically what the polarizer is going to do. It's going to remove glare, remove any light bouncing back. As much as I try and close it up with the aperture, stop it down a lot, it's still not enough for me to achieve what I want to achieve. But yeah, it would have been a perfect opportunity for the polarizer here. But there we are, we're at the top of the mountain. I'm going to head over that way a bit, and then show you the chapel. There's a lovely white chapel at the top of the mountain, which I'm hoping to get a cracking shot at. So yeah, on we go. A lot of snow up here. A lot of snow up here indeed. I've taken a couple of shots in the snow. I've had some nice opportunities, but you know, it's all about experimenting, really. There's not really a written rule in photography, you know, that you've got to follow. It's all about experimenting, having fun, and you know, trying out different apertures and seeing what works for you. Basically, if you like your darker shots, if you like your lighter shots. Now that is a lovely composition right by there with the sun in the background, beautiful. But I got a feeling I'm gonna have to open up the shutter quite a bit, close the shutter quite a bit, sorry. I'm gonna have to increase it to about, I don't know, my guess will be about 1,000th of a second, only because the sun's in the foreground, is quite prominent. So yeah, I'm gonna get a quick shot of this and then we'll carry on. Okay, so as you can see behind me, there is the White Chapel, or Gellionen Chapel. It's got quite a lot of history. I'm not going to go through the ins and outs. There's plenty of it on Google and what have you. To search up for Gellionen Chapel. As you can see, I set up my tripod. I want to get a lovely shot of the chapel there, and is also in the distance Swansea Bay and the Mumbles and what have you. And it's not perfectly clear, but I think it's clear enough for me to get a shot in. I got the sun facing towards me there, so that's not too bad. I haven't really got an issue with sunlight affecting the photo itself. So yeah, I'm gonna get the shot now and see how it turns out. That's fantastic. That's that shot captured. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. With the sun being just towards the right of me, it's creating a nice soft glow on the snow. Again, if I had the polarizer with me, I could have stopped the shutter down to about 20 seconds, so you get the cloud formation, all the nice silky clouds in the sky. Unfortunately, I haven't got the polarizer just yet. But I might close the aperture up to say about f18 to f20. I might close the aperture up a bit and see if I can get a bit of a long exposure on these clouds, but without the polarizer it's pretty hard work. But yeah, 200th of a second I've gone, only because I want to let a little bit more light into the scenery by here. I managed to catch Swansea in the background, but only barely. But yeah, I'm going to try and get a long exposure now. We'll see how it turns out. You know, that's what it's all about. Photography is trial and error. There's no, you know, set way you've got to do things. There's no set way you've got to take photographs. It's all personal preference, you know. And yeah, it's all about trial and error. I mean, you just try what works for you. Change up the settings. It may take you 15-20 minutes, but like I said before, you know, if you manage to get that one shot, it really does pay off. I'm going to try and get a long exposure now, and we'll catch up with you in a bit. So that's the end of the journey, guys. Another breaking trails finished. We have officially broken Gellionen Mountain here in Clydach. I really enjoy coming up here, photographing the snow, the Gellionen chapel with the backdrop of snow is really nice to get out again and continue doing breaking trails with you. If you don't mind hitting the subscribe button, the like button, and share the video when you can if you enjoyed it. But anyway, that's all from me. Hopefully next time we'll be up Ammanford Mountain, breaking the trail up there. So until next time, keep trailing.